Should you come to Paraguay in 2025? This is the question we're going to answer in today's video. We have some very exciting, important announcement for you inside this video. We're going to be hosting an event here in Q3 2025. And if you want to come to this event, then this is the video that you must watch until the end. I'm here with a Nomad Elite client. His name is Bart. He's a citizen of Poland. He obtained Paraguayan Residency for using our services, and he has been here now for a number of weeks. I think, Red, you applied for your residence and you're waiting to be approved. And I just want to ask a few questions to Bart to hear his firsthand experience being here in Paraguay. So let's start out talking about the main reasons for you to come here. As we know, there are roughly 200 countries and territories on this planet. This is not the only option. This was not the only option. Why did you come to Paraguay?
So the main reason was that I was looking for a Spanish-speaking country, just because I found Spanish language interesting like a year and a half ago. And then I did some research where I can, as a nomad, move, where the easiest opportunity to get some residency, because as a Pole, I can stay here for 90 days, which is good for tourism. It's not bad. But if I would like to stay a bit longer, I need this residency. And Paraguay, for people with clear criminal records, is pretty easy. Money is not as important for Paraguayans as this criminal records to be clear. And that was the main reason why I picked this part of world. Paraguay itself, because it's stable, this economy is stable, which means it's a kind of soft landing for me as a noob for this culture. And also it's not that touristy place, so it's more for people who live here, which is great, because if you travel to Spain, to many other places, there are souvenirs all over the place. Everything is for tourists, which is not the case here, which is, for me, it's great to experience this country as it is. And also in Asunción there's an airport, so you can travel to all other countries, with Argentina, Brazil, and others as well, in this region. So it's not a big problem. We've got Argentina just next to the river, so which is also cool if you like to go there. So there are the main reasons.
Leaving the EU in this very year is really an important thing that so many people are trying to accomplish. There are a lot of problems back home, right? There's rising inflation, sky-high energy costs. There are a lot of reasons to move out of Europe. Now, you still live in Europe, you still have your company in Europe. What about Paraguayan residency, and what about the taxes here? And I know that from a corporate perspective, it doesn't really affect you yet because you still have your business in Europe. But from a personal perspective, it does, because eventually you're going to become a tax resident here and you're going to be paying your taxes here in Paraguay, which means 0% tax on foreign sourced income. And as you know, the Paraguayan government is very lenient. It's a small government. It is not part of the EU umbrella. They are leaving you alone here. Are taxes a big reason for you? If not now, in the future, where you would say Paraguay is a great place for me to settle down in because there's no tax on foreign sourced income. Local taxes are capped at 10%. What's your take on this?
Inflation in Poland is not that big. I mean, it's now it's below 5%. It's far from being the optimal, which is closer to 3%, but it's far from, for example, Argentina or Venezuela. Electric costs, for me personally, it wasn't a problem because I've got 10K on my roof, so I don't have to pay for electricity for most of the year, so that wasn't an issue either. And taxes, I think that I will keep my company located in EU. Taxes is one thing, but also for my customers is important from where I invoice them. So because I have company located in Poland, I'm obliged to the law in EU, so it's easier for me to cooperate with other European companies just because of the law. So tax is one thing, but it doesn't actually touch up for me personally.
Something that you've pointed out that I want to touch on again is how Paraguayan residence is so easy to get. There's no economic solvency requirement. You were not required to prove income to qualify for Paraguayan residency. On the other hand, if you look at Latin American countries, for instance, Panama requires a monthly income of $1,000 to qualify for its retirement visa. In Argentina, it's roughly $1,300. In Uruguay, it's now roughly $1,700. And on top of that list is Mexico, where you need to have an income of about $50,000 to qualify for residency, right? And if you have a dependent, then it goes up even more, right? Obviously, that has to do with the fact that Mexico is the closest gateway for Canadians and Americans looking to escape. Lots of problems, right? in my opinion, having lived in both countries, Mexico and Paraguay, I see more value in Paraguay. It's less overrun. As you have correctly pointed out as well, there's no really a need for someone to come here to Paraguay for tourism. There isn't much to do here. It's very laid back. This is the kind of place if you want to make money, you want to preserve your wealth, you don't want to pay taxes or very little, it's a good place for that. And there's also not many distractions, which is a good thing for, say, an aspiring entrepreneur. If you want to come here, you have your company set up, I don't know where, in Europe, in Australia, in North America. If you have a non-resident company in the US and you want to come here, you want to pay no taxes. I mean, there's so many phenomenal low tax setups that you can create, and you can really combine it with Paraguayan residency. And so it's a great country because of its territorial tax system. And there are not many countries in the entire world that offer that. So like Panama is one of them, Paraguay is another one. You've got Georgia it's a country on the edge of Europe and Asia, right? So there are some countries that offer it. Singapore does too. Obviously, it's a lot easier to immigrate to Paraguay than Singapore. If you want to immigrate to Singapore and get permanent residency, you have to be very, very wealthy or influential or both, or you're not going to get residency. Yeah. So from this point of view, it makes a lot of sense to get Paraguayan residency and qualify before the requirements change for the worse. Now, something that I've promised you at the beginning of this video is that I'm going to reveal more about our live event here in Asunción, Paraguay. You're going to be invited to, you're a client, and you're not going to pay anything for your ticket.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's free for you. In this event, by the way, this event is invite only. You're only going to get in if you're a client or if you're personally invited by me. You know, if you're like a family member or a friend or you're a business associate, you're going to get in. Other than that, only clients, right? So you have an advantage because you're not going to have to pay. It's going to be free for you, everything, right? And we're doing this with politicians here. We're going to have entrepreneurs. We're going to have real estate experts and myself too. And hopefully some of our clients will be interested in speaking as well. But we'll see. We have a lot of interesting clients that live here permanently. Some of them just get the residency. They leave. They go live in Mexico. They go live in Thailand, Malaysia, and then they come back for a few weeks a year. So this is going to be a great event. If you want to sign up for this event, and you're only going to get in if you're a client, how this is going to work, you can now get our Paraguayan residency package at a discount again. And not only will you get the package at a discount, you're also going to get the free event ticket. Everything is included. It's going to cost you $0. So this is great. And for you too, because you're already an existing client, right? So we're not only offering this now to new clients, everyone who signed up in 2023 and 2024 or this year, doesn't matter. They're all going to get the ticket for free. No charge for that. And we want this to be the best event ever. So this is not going to be an event flagged with sales pitches like you have seen in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. There will be some promotions at the event, but it's not going to be like 90% promotion and 10% content. We want this to be like the maximum value that we can provide so you can feel comfortable about like your journey in nomadism, to learn more about visas, residence permits, how you can minimize your taxes, incorporate businesses, offshore banking. We're going to work a lot of really good content into this because we want to make this a valuable event for all of our clients. So if you're interested in that and you want to become a client, you can go to nomadelite.com and you're going to click on book consultation. Once you book the consultation, you're going to be speaking with me personally. I'm going to be advising you on the best package for your individual needs, and we're going to get you signed up and you're going to have your event ticket for free. I appreciate you, Bart. Do you have any final tip and any final words of encouragement?
A good final question to this event. Is Spanish language required?
No, it's not. It's going to be fully in English. So all of our speakers are going to be speaking in English. So it's possible that we're going to have one or two that are not going to be speaking in English, but it will be translated at the event. So we'll see about that. But 90% will speak in English. But there are some people, because it is Latin America, not everyone speaks English. So there are some high-level politicians that are not going to speak English, unfortunately. So if we get them, then it will be translated, right? Thank you for watching. We look forward to welcoming you to the next video.